Mindbake presents 5 abandoned theme parks. Number 1. The Land of Oz. Around the time that a certain other amusement park was being conceived of down in Florida, another man had a dream too. He didn't begin with a mouse though. Mr. Robbins' dream centered instead around a famous book and a movie. He figured The Wizard of Oz was popular enough to pull people to his town in North Carolina. Initially he figured right. Crowds thronged onto the yellow brick road to be escorted by costumed characters to Emerald City, where they would watch a show. Unfortunately, Mr. Robbins didn't live to see his dream to fruition. He died before the park opened. Possibly due to his death, the theme park didn't last for the long haul, closing its doors in 1980 after a fire, and dwindling crowds no longer made it profitable. Recent efforts have been made to restore parts of the abandoned acreage, and currently tourists can visit once a year. Number 2. Atlantis Marine Park. Predicting population growth is a tricky business. Mispredicting a boom and you can miss out on potential profit. Mispredicting a bust and you are out a bunch of money. One such attempt, and a good example of what can go wrong, is found in the outskirts of Perth, Australia. Perth was growing rapidly in the late 1970s. To get ahead of the curve and provide a place for this growth to go, a resort town was conceived and built about 60 kilometers from the existing city. Included in this concept was a theme park, the Atlantis. Wildly popular at first, Australian crowds enjoyed all of the park's attractions. The problem came when the predicted boom never happened. Perth just didn't grow that way. Coupled with a stock market crash in 1987, the park couldn't cope. It went belly up in 1990. The abandoned park became an eyesore and stood decrepit for years. Finally, enough people complained for there to be some efforts made to restore the grounds. Number 3. Discovery Island and River Country. When you think of theme parks, you immediately think Disney, the king of all things themed. But behemoth can go wrong, right? Believe it or not, there is a Disney park. Actually 2 that can be added to this list, although getting information on the whys and whats is difficult. Disney is silent on the reasons these parks sit vacant. Some guesses can be made, however. First up is the where. Amazingly, the answer is right smack in the middle of the world itself. Bay Lake is right in the heart of Disney country, and parks are in the middle. So what the heck happened? Nothing Disney fails. These are the only Disney parks to permanently close their doors, but as mentioned, Disney won't really say why. Best guess is that it has something to do with government regulations. Seems the Florida government was worried that all the fresh water of Bay Lake would make people sick, so passed some laws specifying water treatment rules and restricting water supply. That was enough, people think, to do in the parks and shut the doors. Number 4. If it is difficult to get information from Disney about a failed park, one can only imagine how hard it is to figure out why a theme park failed in a country run by a dictator. Well, other than the fact that it is a theme park in a country run by a dictator, which doesn't scream theme park success. Anyway, the brainstorm of said government, and really who else is going to open a business there, Myanmar's top dudes, decided that a theme park zoo combo would distract the population from life under tyranny. Okay. So we know they didn't phrase it quite that way. Instead, it was touted as a place for the people to recreate and enjoy world-class games. Right, so back to why it failed. No one knows, and Myanmar isn't talking. Nevertheless, the park sits, derelict, but not abandoned, because the people who lost their jobs have moved in, and they say the government doesn't provide. Number 5. Kejonuma Leisureland, Japan. It is important to pick the perfect spot for a theme park. Make sure the population can support it. There is enough infrastructure and, oh yes, also important, don't build it next to a cursed body of water. That is possibly the mistake the owners of the park in Tohoku made. Maybe all of the above, but according to the local news, for sure the last one. Because the park wouldn't have closed just because of Japan's low birth rate or economic collapse. Nope. It must be the lady in the lake, or rather, the pond of the ghost woman. Well, thank you very much for watching yet another amazing video. Please do subscribe for many more.